Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden and 2K packs? Well, look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and most reliable Madden and 2K coins on the market. And of course, do not forget to use code Ferdy for 5% off. A link for their website is at the top of the description. Today we are back once again updating the wide receiver tier list. Obviously a lot has happened since the last wide receiver tier list. Team Diamonds, most feared drops, some legend drops, so a bunch of really good brand new wide receivers in MUT right now. We still have some old names near the top, guys like Calvin with good speed, good abilities, good size, obviously 6'5". DK Metcalf 6'3", good speed, good route running. Let's go Burris, and good speed and good size. Also we do have the new Brandon Marshall here as well. He's basically just a slower version of Plexico Burris. Both cards are very similar. Both cards are 6'5". Both cards, you know, they have their similarities. But yeah, I will definitely say Plexico is a tier above Brandon Marshall. And I do use these cards, you know, basically every single day. Down here we have a couple Team Diamonds. We have 5'9", 91 speed Mark Clayton. We have 5'10", 91 speed Doug Baldwin. We have 5'9", I believe, or either 5'9" or shorter. 92 speed Dante Hall, all down here at C tier. 89 speed Deebo Samuel, 88 speed Michael Thomas, 90 speed Tyler Lockett's down here, as well as 90 speed Marquise Hollywood Brown. So yeah, let's just get started with the brand new most feared Davante Adams. Okay, so first things first, when I am ranking these cards, I do not factor in price and I do not factor in them on a theme team. So if you have Davante Adams on a theme team, for example, he could definitely go up probably just one tier, I would say, for this card. But yeah, 90 speed. This card was cheated to begin with. 90 speed Davante Adams. This card came out on Thursday and he was already, I mean, not super outdated speed-wise, but a little bit outdated speed-wise with the 90 speed, 91 acceleration. Does hit 3 thresholds. Pretty solid after the catch. 6'1", 215. Does get Packers and Raiders chems. For the abilities, 1 AP red zone threat's really nice to have. But outside of that, I mean, nothing really special. Nothing special at all. Maybe they were thinking about giving this card route tech, but instead they wanted to make the money off the Jerry Rice card today. That's kind of what it feels like with Davante Adams, that he was designed for route tech. That's my only guess, but yeah, this card is, he was cheated, not that great. We're going to put him with Brandon Marshall. They're very similar cards. Davante, they're very similar. Davante does have 1 AP red zone threat though. I'm probably going to put Brandon Marshall in front of Davante Adams, honestly. And there's even a debate for maybe Herman Moore over Davante as well, because they all have the same speed, but they're just taller. So I don't know. What do you guys think? The next man up is the 6'91" speed Stefan Diggs. 92 acceleration, 90 agility, 90 awareness. Gonna hit all 3 thresholds. Really good after the catch. For the abilities on Stefan Diggs, does get 1 AP deep in, 1 AP mid in, and most importantly, 1 AP slot apprentice. If you have one of Stefan's theme teams, definitely run the card, but if you want a really good slot receiver that does get slot apprentice with the crossers, the corner routes, the post routes on the field, Stefan Diggs is a really good option right now. So without question, I'm going to put Stefan Diggs at A tier. I can't put him over guys like DK and Plexico because they have the same speed and have 5 inches on Stefan Diggs, but I still think Diggs is a super solid, you know, slot option in this game, like I said. So now we have Charlie Joyner. The stats on this card are super elite. The ball carrier stats, all 3 thresholds, 92 speed, second fastest in the game right now. However, the only issue with this card is the fact that he is 5'11". His abilities are only mid and elite, so nothing too crazy. But this card is actually pretty good, and it might make me rethink some of the guys I have like here. I'm probably going to end up putting Charlie Joyner. This one's tough. Do I trade 2 speed for 6 inches? Is that too much? I don't know. I think he's definitely before Davante. So then maybe you put Herman over Joyner. This is where it gets tough when it comes to these receivers, because Joyner's got +2 speed over both these guys. He really does. This one's tough, man. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do actually? We're actually gonna move Joyner up a tier. We're gonna move him up a tier. Yeah, let's do that. I think that'll work out pretty well. I'm happy with that. Yeah, that one there might be a couple comments about that, how he's over guys like who are 6'5" like Brandon Marshall, but that's +2 speed. Like it's pretty good. And 3 thresholds. Charlie Joyner's pretty good. So now we have 6'91" speed Donald Driver. Does get mid in elite for 1 AP as well as jukebox 1 AP, and it makes you think, why didn't they give Joyner 2 pre-baked abilities? or 2 discounted abilities, but it is what it is. On a theme team, this card's super good. After the catch, he's good. 3 thresholds. A lot of these Team Diamond receivers are usually very, very similar. And this is another example right here. So Donald Driver he's more or less just Stefan Diggs without slot apprentice. So we're going to throw Driver right behind Stefan Diggs. Very similar cards. Same height, same speed, stuff like that. And so now we have Team Diamond Hines Ward, and I can almost guarantee that people are going to think I'm putting this card too high, but I really do value, I honestly value run blocking on my receivers. And yeah, Hines Ward is the best in the game right now with 83 run block, 86 impact block, and, good ball carrier stats, the juke move, the break tackle, the COD, it's all there. The route running is not that great, but decent speed, good acceleration. And also a really good archetype, slot archetype with 2 AP Slot-O-Matic, which is basically, it's not route tech, obviously, but when you have him lined up at the slot, he makes better cuts and has better hands. Pretty much, it's short in on roids, basically. So, Slot-O-Matic, it's usually too expensive to really run in a lot of scenarios, but it's only 2 AP on Hines Ward. That's a pretty good discount, and this card does play super, super well. So, we're going to be throwing my man Hines Ward. I think he's A tier. You guys probably thought I was going to put him somewhere in this range maybe, but I just value run blocking so much. I'm going to put him behind Joyner. I'm surprised I was thinking about putting Joyner so low. But yeah, that 92 speed is really good. If he was 91 speed, he probably would be down here though, but 92 I think does put him up a tier. Because like I said, theme teams, +1, +2 speed will move cards up tiers. Simple as that. And next up, we have 92 overall, a Roddy White, 6 foot with 91 speed, 92 acceleration, 2 thresholds, pretty solid after the catch. The abilities, which is what kind of sets a lot of these receivers apart, if we're being honest. He does get deep out, red zone threat. I thought he also did get, he does get 1 AP shorten too. I thought he got that. Yeah, so 1 AP shorten as well. Roddy White cards always play super well. For some reason, I never get around to trying Roddy White cards. I don't know why. But Roddy always has solid cards, but I feel like I never do videos on him. I don't know how it falls that way, but I feel like I just never do. But yeah, Roddy White, obviously when I don't get to try a card out, I always try to find gameplays on YouTube that display the card. So yeah, Roddy looks good, good ability, stuff like that. We're going to throw Roddy White. Roddy White's interesting. We're going to throw, I love 1 AP short in. 1 AP shorten is so good. Shorten is still an ability that is so good, especially with the lack of route techs in the game. I think Roddy White's in the driver Stefan Diggs conversation. And if you want to run slot, go Stefan Diggs. If you don't need that slot apprentice, I would go Roddy White. That's kind of what it comes down to with all these 91 speed guys. And next up, we have a super fun card, and that is 91 speed, 6'3" Jacoby Jones. 3 thresholds somehow. Good speed, nasty after the catch. Just checks all the boxes. His abilities are not that great. I feel like a lot of these Team Diamond cards don't have the best abilities. Probably the best is honestly Hines Ward as far as the receivers go. That Slot-O-Matic honorary lineman, I mean, that's pretty good. For as far as these Team Diamond discount ability standards go. But I'd probably just run 2 AP short in. This card's gonna cook. Card's gonna play very well. If you have one of his theme teams, go for it. Card plays amazing. Did a gameplay on this card. Had a lot of fun with him. So we're gonna definitely be throwing Jacoby Jones up here in front of Roddy White. Roddy, I do think there is maybe a debate because of 1 AP short in, but I feel like the size and the after the catch and the route running is just too much. So I'm going to go with Jacoby over Roddy White. So moving on to Jamarr Chase, 92 speed, 91 acceleration, 6 foot, 200. This card plays very well, 3 thresholds, good after the catch. I feel like I say that for basically all these top tier receivers right now. But yeah, 92 speed with the 6 foot, and his card feeling as solid as he does, if that makes sense. I feel like when I use a guy like Charlie Joyner, he feels not whatever the opposite of solid is. But Jamarr Chase, the way he just bounces off tackles and runs his routes, the card just feels strong. I can't describe it. You have to go watch the gameplay I did on him, but it makes sense. It does make sense. So Jamarr Chase, 1 AP outside, 1 AP deep out. I think he also does get short out elite. 1 AP short in is better, but still a really good card. I think when he came out, I think there's a good debate for him maybe being up a tier. I do think there is a debate, but I'm going to put him in front of DK, in front of Plexico. He has 1 speed over them, 5 inches shorter than Plexico, 3 inches shorter than DK. But I think I'm going to go with the 92 speed, and just the way Jamarr plays is just so nice. Okay, so now let's move into these top tier wide receivers, and of course getting started with Harold Carmichael. 90 speed, 90 acceleration, nothing crazy speed and acceleration wise. Only does hit one threshold, nothing crazy there. After the catch, nothing crazy, but he's 6'8", so there you go. That's the reason why Carmichael is an S tier receiver in this game. With deep out on his card, just throwing the ball in single coverage against any of these smaller corners in the game, and he'll most likely come down with it. That's how broken this card is. It's probably like, you know, the saying is 50-50 balls. With Carmichael with deep out on just a streak route one-on-one coverage, they're more like 90-10 balls for him. Like, it's that ridiculous how good this card really is. So, if you haven't tried Carmichael, what are you doing? You got to at least give him a try. If he fits your play style, go for it. Card is just busted. I will say that there's certain scenarios where he's better in. I will definitely say that. But more times than not, you're going to want to have a 6'8" guy on your field. So, this one might surprise some people, but I'm going to leave Calvin in front of Carmichael. That might surprise some people, but the reason is, if you guys don't remember anything with, you know, Calvin, Calvin is not only just super good physically, 6'5", good route running, all that good stuff, 94 deep routing is amazing, good after the catch. His abilities are also really, really good, and also does get his special X factor. My favorite thing about this card is wide receiver apprentice. Anywhere you want to put him, inside, outside, no matter where he is, you're able to put the C routes, the post routes. The card's so versatile, can fit in anyone's scheme. So that's why I have Calvin just a little bit ahead of Carmichael. But just know at S tier, I am really splitting hairs when it comes to ranking these guys. Okay, so I'm sure no one thought they were going to see Kyle Pitts in this video. But Kyle Pitts is an S tier receiver in this game. Don't let EA fool you. Yes, this card might be a tight end, but he's really a receiver. He's debatably a better receiver, because I like having a little bit of run block on my, just a little bit of run block on my tight ends. You know, guys like Pete, guys like Casper. But Pitts is actually just a receiver. 3 thresholds, 91 speed, 6'6", 245. Good after the catch. If you missed the gameplay I dropped on Thursday, and you know, using this card, he's just ridiculous. And I do say it in that video, this card's not a tight end. He's legitimately a wide receiver. So Kyle Pitts does make the wide receiver tier list as one of the best pass catchers in this game right now. I'm going to throw him just behind Carmichael. If Pitts did maybe get like a better ability, then maybe I would, put him, I'd think about putting him over Carmichael. But nah, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stick with Pitts. But if you have Pitts and Carmichael on your field, or Pitts and Calvin, or, Carmichael or Calvin, I mean, you're going to be fine, man. You're going to be an absolute headache to guard on defense. It's going to be brutal. Okay, so now we have the brand new Jerry Rice. In this card, the way that he was released reminds me a lot of Mike Vick. So if you're going after this card and you're trying to spend whatever this card is going for, the absolutely grotesque amount that he's going for, it reminds me a lot of Mike Vick. Mike Vick was going for a lot when he first came out because he was the first set feet quarterback. And then Tuesday, Drew Bledsoe came around and it tanked both their prices. So being patient with Jerry Rice, I think, is the move. I mean, he's a really good card. He is the first route tech receiver in the game. And I think route tech receivers for maybe like the first 2 weeks that they come out, where people are still relying on their man coverage, you're really going to see the usage of route tech, like you really, really are. But yeah, I'll show you, all his abilities and stuff like that. Obviously, the stats are nasty. 6'2". Jerry always runs the crispiest routes out there. 92 speed. This card is ridiculous. He is good after the catch. He's the best wide receiver in the game right now. I'm going to say that right now. But just a little advice on the price tag, and not to mention the route tech's cheap as well. The route tech, it is a cheap route tech. The slot apprentice, the runoff. I would probably run route tech on this card if you do get it. That's the reason why his price is so high. The stats are good, but the reason why his price is where it's at is for that route technician. So, yeah, even with the stats, he's debatably won. Maybe not debatably won. I would say if he didn't get route tech, he still is S tier though. But route tech, I think, does put him ahead of guys like Calvin. So, yeah, I think Jerry right now is the best wide receiver in the game. And finally, last but not least, don't worry, I did not forget about Tyreek Hill. We have, of course, Tyreek Hill, the fastest wide receiver in the game still, with 94 acceleration, 93 speed, 3 thresholds, nasty after the catch. This card is really, really good. So my thoughts on Tyreek Hill is, if I did change the tier list a little bit, so do prepare yourself for this final guy. But here's my opinion, okay, on Tyreek Hill. I am going to put Tyreek Hill in his own category. So if you have 2 guys in the tiers above Tyreek Hill, if you have 2 of these guys, then I would say buy Tyreek Hill to be your third receiver. So, yeah, if you have like Plesko Burris, and keep in mind, like I said, theme teams can move cards up tiers. So If you have Roddy on a theme team, put him up there. Stefan Diggs on a theme team, put him up there. Stuff like that. But say you're running no theme team. If you have 2 of these guys in the tiers above this Tyreek Hill card, then I would say go after Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill's really good, but I think with him being like the tallest or like your number 1 receiver, I don't think it works. I don't. Yes, the speed is great. He's going to get caught soon. So if you're watching this video, maybe 2 weeks from now and there's more 93 speed guys out there, this is going to change a little bit. So I probably like, once the speed starts to balance out, you're going to see Tyreek Hill and these shorter guys that were like are dropped for their speed. You're going to fall down these tier lists a lot because they just don't last long. But right now in the current meta on, October 29th, Tyreek Hill, I think, falls somewhere in here. And like I said, if you have 2 guys in the A+ tier or the S tier, then I would think about going after Tyreek Hill, who's going for a good price, and the card is super fun to use. He's super good, but he just can't be your your set alone number 1 wide receiver. He just can't be. And obviously, even Tyreek on a theme team, that's gonna move him up a lot. You have like a Dolphins or a Chiefs team. He's very, very good with that 95 speed or 94 speed, whatever the case is. So yeah, that is the tier list. Drop a comment down below. What do you think about today's tier list? I do read or try to read all the comments. But yeah, as always, I will see you boys in the next one.